Well, my notes are everywhere, but so is my brain and so is my life. So it's probably going to go a little bit of everywhere, but anything else you guys want to pop in, just pop in. So one of the first things I want to start with that kind of really hit home this week in personal development is talking about sowing and reaping and the difference between sowing season and reaping season. And so you guys, like, I want you guys to just think about a farmer. Just as a farmer wouldn't plant one seed and scream over it and pray that it grows and, you know, hover over that one seed and just be like, grow, baby, grow. It's the same thing in this kind of industry. If you only plant a couple seeds, then you actually cannot expect a big harvest. And we're going to get like a little bit more into that because this is a law. Just as in, like, the sun always rises and it always sets, and, you know, all the laws, like, this is an actual law, and it's called the law of averages and the law of the harvest. So we're going to tell a story really quick. You don't have to write this down, but I think that it's going to make some sense in your mind for people who just need some clarification on sowing and reaping. Okay. So there's a story of a sower. Okay. He's a super ambitious sower. Guys, we are the sowers. Okay. Think that we're the sowers. So he's super ambitious. He's got this excellent seed. He's got these excellent ideas, and he's so excited, and he gets to planning, right? He's a farmer. He's got this big plant of land or big area of land, and he starts planting the seeds. And so he's going to drop some seeds, and the first bunch of seeds, they land off to the side, kind of like on the side of the road, and the birds get them. Okay, the birds, they just start swooping up all the seeds, and none of that seed gets planted. Okay, so this is what we call, like, when people ghost you, or when customers ghost you, or potentials ghost you, that's what we like to call, like, the birds got them, you guys. Like, somebody somewhere, it was either a potential customer who was super excited about this line, and someone in their life was like, oh, that diet stuff, that doesn't work. I tried it and I didn't get any good results. I didn't lose 5 pounds in the first 5 days, so that doesn't work. And, like, the birds got them, right? Like, these just swooped in and they stole your potential and they flew off. Gone. Seeds are gone, right? That's scenario number 1. Birds got them. I wrote this down because, again, I'm spacey and I'll go off on tangents. But the sower does not leave the field when the birds take them. You're not going to chase the birds. Chasing birds is going to get you nowhere. Let them be. Don't argue with them. Let them go. Okay. The birds, this is a law. The birds will get some of your seeds no matter what. And it's out of your control. It's nothing you did or did not do wrong. Okay. Here's scenario number 2. Some of your seeds you're going to plant are going to land on rocky ground. There's just, like, kind of crappy soil. There's, like, big chunks and rocks, but there's, like, spaces in between the rocks where some of the seed is going to land. And what's going to happen is that little bit of land is going to get watered, and the sun's going to shine on it, and you're going to get a sprout. You're going to maybe have a couple sprouts, and they're going to sprout up. Okay. But what's going to happen when it's surrounded by these hot rocks in the sun is the weather's going to get some. Okay. Like the sun, it's going to scorch those plants. They're not going to be able to get watered properly and fertilized properly. Like, the sun is going to literally burn them. Okay. So that's, like, I want you guys to imagine people who start and they're on fire for this business. They're like, wow, like, Lavelle's the best company ever. Like, this is so good. Like, I'm on fire. I love this. I cannot wait to be at 200K. And they're talking about all these big plans. And then one bad thing happens. Like, they hit their very first struggle, their very first no, their very first family member who says, that's stupid, or you're never going to get anywhere. And all of a sudden, whoop, right back down. Just like that. Sun got them so quick. Okay. And again, like, this is out of your control. You cannot control it. Like, this is going to happen to some of your seeds. Some people are going to start on fire, and then after a little bit of time, the sun's going to get them. Okay. But throughout all this, you guys, what'd you say? Oh, okay. What's that say, Marcy?
A whole bunch.
Okay.
It says a lot.
Okay. I'm not going to read it because
don't read it.
I'll be a squirrel. But you guys, during this time, while the seed's landing on the side of the road and the birds are getting it, and some of the seeds are landing in the rocks and the sun's scorching it, the sower is still sowing the whole time. Still sowing. Really good seed. Don't forget, he's an ambitious sower and he's got really good seed. The really good seed, you guys, is this opportunity. It's this product. This is really, really good seed. Okay. Some of the seed's going to fall on thorny ground. And just kind of like in the rocks, like, it's going to be able to grow a little bit. It might actually be able to grow, like, a lot. You can kind of, like, weasel your way around some thorns, right? Like, you're going to have people who come in and they start off strong, maybe not, slow, but they're going. And then all of a sudden, the thorns get them and they choke them to death. Okay, the thorns are like distractions. I want you guys to think of the thorns as like little struggles, like a couple no's, like a customer who didn't get her product on time and was unhappy. Little, things maybe that are like non-business related, like they're at home and something bad happens in their home life, or they just have like a lot going on the side, and they got all these distractions, and all of a sudden, boop, 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 right back up. Okay. Little struggles, little disappointments, nothing big, just like little whole bunches of distractions, and the thorns are going to get them. Okay, don't ask why. This is just the law. This is just what happens. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm going to get somewhere with this, I promise. The good news is that the sower, the whole time, he kept on sowing, right? He doesn't care that the birds got some. He doesn't care that some are inevitably going to die. But regardless of how good of a farmer he was, you can't control the weather and you cannot control nature, right? He's only controlling what he's doing. So the good news is, finally, some of the seed falls on really good ground, like the most perfect ground. And the seeds are planted. And you guys, this is also part of the law. It will always eventually hit good ground. Always. That is non-negotiable. Your good seed will always hit good ground as long as you're still planting and as long as it's okay. So if you share this opportunity and with enough people, you will hit the good seed. You're gonna hit the good ground always. And this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna produce a harvest, right? This is where the magic happens. 30% of that harvest is only gonna do 30%. Okay, so these are people who are like kind of excited about Lavelle, kind of not, just kind of trying to get their free products, like trying to refer to people. And you know what? That's great. Like, we are not in this to decide what everyone wants out of this. Like, some people literally just want free product. I have a couple people who are like, I don't really care. I don't want to leave. Spotlight. I just want to get my products for free. That's okay. Let the 30% do their 30%. Don't try to tell the 30% to do 60% for you guys. You're going to have some people do 60%. It's just like double of the 30s. Kelsey, I'm just going to mute you, okay?
I'm sorry. Please mute me.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Okay? You're going to people come in and they do 60%. And those people who are like kind of all in, but like kind of not really, like kind of afraid to go all in. And guys, just like you're not going to push a 30 to do the 60. Don't push your 60 to be your 100%, because there are going to be the people who come into your business who are the 100%ers, who landed on the good ground. They know they have good seed. They're getting water. They're doing their own thing. And those are the people that change your life, change your business, and change it for everybody in their entire world. Okay? That's the story of the sower. And that is a law that happens every single time. So the biggest takeaway of that is that some of you guys have been coming to me recently and you're like, I'm struggling. My team's not working, or I'm struggling signing customers, or I can't get this girl to text me back. She signed yesterday and all of a sudden she's ghosting me. Guys, that's going to happen. It happens in every single business, in every single company, like in every single, like even outside of network marketing, that's going to happen. It's like, that is completely out of your control. And just as like the sower or the farmer sower, he's not going to like chase after the birds. He's not going to try to control the weather and the outside situations. You can't control that. All you control is what you're planning. Okay. So I'm going to jump a little bit around a bit, but I feel like lately people are like, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I want to do this. I'm excited. I don't know what to post. The biggest thing I can tell you with that, and Beth, jump in here if you want to. I know you have some things to say, Stu. Just say, I can't talk today. I'm just very excited. You guys, it's less about the post. It's less about what you're saying on social media and more about the connections that you're making. Okay. I do not want you to put all this sort of pressure on yourself that you have to have like these perfectly handcrafted posts and these perfect graphics, and you have to always tell a story, and it has to be like always eye appealing. Your social media just wants you to be you. If you have nothing good to say, just don't say anything at all. I'm sure you guys have noticed there's days that go by where like I just don't post a whole lot. And it's not because I'm uninspired. It's not because I'm not working behind the scenes. It's just that if I don't have something like good to say, like something where I feel like is going to influence my following, make somebody laugh, like connect with somebody, then I'm not going to post it. And so if you feel like you are struggling to post, the first thing I'm going to tell you is what are you reading? What does your personal development life look like? Because I feel like when the times where I'm struggling to produce a post, it's because my mindset's not right. I'm a million miles away. I think I'm focused. I think I'm doing IPAs, but I'm not. I'm busy in my brain. I'm scrolling on Facebook. I'm doing kind of like half-ass work and getting half-ass results. Right? And so like when I feel like, God, like what I'm going to say, I put my nose in a book. I put on Rachel Hollis or any good podcasts. We're going to talk about podcasts a little bit. There's so many good ones. But I find, and I'm sure Natalie, you talk about this too, like if you guys just spend 5 minutes and listening to someone that inspires you, someone that lights your fire up, something is going to click in your brain. We're like, holy crap, that's good. I need to say that right now. Like, my following needs to hear this. My people need to hear this. Whether it's business related or not, you will hear something in that short 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I know some are like, I don't have time to do it. You do have time. We all have time to do it. And it's really just a matter of making it a priority. I did not know the importance of personal development, really, probably for most of my career in network marketing, which is coming on 4 years this week. Until I realized that truly, like, you can't become who you're trying to become until your mind arrives there first. If your mind's not there, you're not going to get there. And I'm saying this out of like tough love, but like as much love as possible, like not an angry way. Like, you've got to get your mind there first. And then like all your actions will follow. Once your mind is there, like your body just starts doing it. Beth, you look like you want to say something. Do you want to say something? Or are you just listening?
I'm just listening. I'm
Okay.
intent.
Just,
I mean, I feel like to add something to that, not only reading and stuff like that, but so many people forget that. Just why don't you think about this? If you have had no connections with people, what makes you happy, right? What makes you smile is when someone's nice to you, when you see a comment on your post. I always have comments. I always have likes because I worked behind the scenes with just commenting or just liking or just because people put stuff on to get comments.
Mhm.
We do the same thing. We want, and you guys have to think, just because if you don't get something in the first 12 minutes doesn't mean that post isn't going to last. But the way I do social media is totally different than the way I was doing social media when I first started network marketing because of how it's changed.
Right.
And Facebook doesn't update now, sometimes every 2 days. But you have to know that everyone goes through a different season every 6 to 9 months in their life. I can tell you, I was one that was like, I haven't ever gone through a season. Literally in 2017, I went through seasons, not like winter, spring, summer, and fall. I went through emotional seasons. I went through physical seasons. I went through so much stuff that God put there for me for a reason. And that's where when Kelly's talking about the sowing and the reaping, your percentages, if you're a 30%er, because I will tell you at the beginning, I was one that's like, I'm going to do this, but I don't want to lead. I want to take a step back from leading. I want to, but over the last 2 weeks, I've had a kick it up into gear where I'm 110%er. Okay? Because my season changed and that depended on what was happening in my life. And what I was saying to myself, like getting my mind there, like I wanted my 800 reset because I wanted $400 to pay something off because at my job, I can't make any more money than that of what I make. We all know that. So to go, I can't work any more hours. I can't do any of that. Here, I have the opportunity to do that. And because every single day I comment something nice. I do. Sometimes it's a struggle and I just kind of have to bypass it. And then I go back and think, okay, it is right. And to not have that in my algorithm, sometimes I just don't do anything whatsoever. Or sometimes I just send a quick message saying, after that last post, you seem like you may need somebody just to smile for you. I'm going to be that person today. Okay. Sometimes that's all you have to say. And they're like, thank you. I mean, no one gets mad about that.
Right. Guys.
So just comment sometimes because when you do make a post, I'm still getting people posting from a Saturday post because they're just seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot.
Algorithms are changing. And that's why it's like it's less about the post and it's more about what you're doing on Facebook to grow your network, to grow your influence, to make connections, to meet new people, to love on people, to like and to comment. Like it's more about that. So if you're like, God, Kelly, I just don't know what to post, then post nothing and just start interacting. Okay. Once you start interacting and in the process while you're growing your mind, then it's going to come to you. So something I've been doing to carve out little pockets of my day so I'm just checking time, make sure we're okay. To make sure that I'm taking enough time to pour into myself is I just have this rule that every single time I'm in the shower and putting on makeup, doing my hair, picking out my outfit, I've got a podcast on and playing. And it's like the simplest things like that. You guys, we do have time. Like, I'm not saying you have to sit there and every single night at 10 p.m., get your nose in a book or wake up an hour earlier. Like, you don't have to do that. And most of us probably aren't even disciplined enough to do that anyway. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about this kind of industry is like, you don't have to set specific hours. You just have to find little pockets of time. So on your drive to work, other things I've been doing is if I do happen to wake up before the kids, which is rare, I will say it's rare. I'm trying. And I come downstairs and I take my capsules and I'm walking around the house, I'm throwing on a podcast. Would I like to just sit around and scroll on Facebook and do nothing? Yeah. I mean, it feels good to just like wake up and have like no distractions and nothing. But I know that if I can sit there and carve out even 10 minutes, 20 minutes listening to Rachel Hollis or The Gold Digger or Lori Harder, Earn Your Happy, it's going to set the tone for the rest of my day. And I found that the days that I do that, I'm in a much better mood. I have a much more positive attitude. I have a lot more going in my business those days because my mindset is good right from the morning. So if you're not a person who can get up early and you don't like to wake up and spend 30 minutes by yourself for an hour, like you're a sleep treasure, that's fine. Then just know that the minute you wake up, if you have 7, 10, 15, 20 minutes to just pour into yourself, it feels so good. I can't even stand how good it feels to grow your mind. Once you grasp the concept and you can feel yourself up leveling, becoming a better version of yourself today or yesterday, it feels so good. Okay, I'm going to jump around a little bit. I want to make sure we touch on this before I hold you guys too long. I want to talk about the importance of personal results. I know a lot of the reasons people don't get into this industry is because they're afraid of spamming their network. And a couple companies in particular who shall remain nameless, I do believe has ruined a good chunk of that. And so I vowed when I switched from this company that I was not going to do that anymore. And I'm not saying you can never share somebody else's results. Sometimes people have jaw-dropping results that need to be shared. Sometimes you just want to cheer on your teammate, your sideline, someone who you know or who has amazing transformations, and that's okay. But guys, for the majority of people, they don't care what it did to Joe Schmo. They don't care about the belly pictures, okay? And if you had it ingrained in your mind from a previous company or just from what you've seen, if you're brand new to this industry and you've seen belly pictures and before and after side-by-sides just shoved down your throat and timeline all day, you can probably agree, you don't actually care what it does for so-and-so. All you care is what it's going to do for you, right? If you're just a potential, all you care, it's tunnel vision. It's okay, I don't care. What's it going to do for me? Is it going to help me lose weight? Is it going to give me energy? Is it going to those things? Okay. So personal results, you guys, is something that I'm always 100% okay with sharing. People want to know too, what did it do for you? They see strangers on your timeline. Did you go and Google? Did you Google search? Did you photo? Did you edit this picture? But if it's you, results don't lie. And so I'm always very hesitant to share results. But you guys, the time that I know, Beth, you know this, all of your customers and all your promoters come from you sharing your results. And I shared my before and after that I just did side by side. It was, 2 weeks ago. And I think I signed 4 customers that day. People flooded to my inbox holy crap, didn't know it worked like that. Or what are you doing? What are you on? People want to know. Okay. So let's say you're somebody who has a rockin' bod. You need to lose no weight. You're not going to have a very good before and after picture. Okay. Let's say that's you. That's okay. Can you have a before and after picture of your tired eyes? Can you have a before and after picture, compare just the way you dressed, the way you looked, the way you felt, anxiety, hello, can you talk about your before and after before you had Black Label and what it's done for you now? People, for the majority of you guys, they don't care about product descriptions. They don't care about ingredients. They don't care about the detailed scientific explanation of what Black Label is actually doing in your body. A few people do, screens. Meg, I see you down there. We do a little bit. But for the majority, they don't care. They want to know how they're going to feel on it. So talk about how you feel. If you're someone who struggles with anxiety and with stress or with you're scatterbrained and Black Label helps you focus and get your stuff done, talk about that, because there are people who are in your same shoes who can't focus, who are doing a million things at once and nothing gets done, who have stress and anxiety, and they need it. And if you tell them how you feel on it personally, that's all they want to know. They don't need to know. They don't need to have I think sometimes people are well, I don't know what to post because I don't know what, the product description is. I don't know what the Black Label actually does. Guess what? Me neither. None of us do, right? We don't know. We just know how we feel so good. So personal results sell.
Be relative.
Relative.
You have to be relative. The one thing that every single person in this world can say, unless they're I'm going to go with 18 or above is I need more energy. Every single person, and you guys can all say it. You've said it at one time. So if you talk about energy, if you talk about the other day, I made 2 posts one day and I never do that. So I totally threw the algorithm off. And that post, that second post, is still getting me customers today because of, and I sold out samples again. I don't even post about samples because, and it's not saying, I'm not saying you guys can't. I'm just saying that everybody works their social media differently. And I used to say, God, I can't talk like Kelly, but my mindset was that. So then I didn't put a lot of thought into it. And I kept thinking I had to make the post like that, but that wasn't, I'm not Kelly. So I'm Beth. And what does Beth want to do? Beth wants to be funny. Beth wants to be relative. Beth wants to, Kelly has 2 girls and her husband works in the bar industry. My husband's 8 years older than I am. He's probably already in bed. I have kids. So God didn't put us here to all be the same. Own who you are and be that person. Don't try to be anybody else. So if you're not a good writer, go with what's good for you and maybe you'll become it, and write it down that I want to become a better writer. So I'm going to be more descriptive. I'm going to make longer posts, and don't worry about having to be everything this way, because I did that at one time and I went like this and I was a 30%er. That's when I got to be a 30%er. And then when I started thinking, you know what, but I can become that, or I don't have to be that every day, I went to the 60%er. And then when I started making 1 post about it a week, I became a 110%er. That little bit of confidence.
Yep. I'm glad you touched on that.
Percentages.
Like you guys, I think that if you came, and I always hesitate to compare, but I think that we're all still kind of healing from being taught to do social media differently. And coming in here, it's a learning curve for sure, right? Like, because we're told, like, you can be yourself here. Like, you don't have to be prim and proper. If you want to cuss on your Facebook, cuss on your Facebook. Like, I'm not saying to be trashy. That's different. But, like, I think that we all had this idea of how we were supposed to look and how we were supposed to post and copy the right cat and you'll get what they have too, right? Like, that's what everybody said. But here, like, your Facebook just wants you to be you. And so I think sometimes too, like, and this is kind of a tangent, but I've got a point. I think if you guys, I think there's a benefit to following a lot of the leaders in the company. I'm talking like M. Hastings, who, by the way, if you're new here, she's my personal enroller. She's our upline 200K. Justin Bland, Lindsay Reed. If your timeline is completely filled with the leaders of this company, guys, it's a slippery slope. You're going to get into the comparison game. And I've been there before. And I think that it's good to follow leaders so you have inspiration, so that we're cheering them on. I post love everyone, that whole thing. But I think that only following leaders and following too many of them is extremely detrimental to your business. Because if you're only seeing leaders, first of all, you're not interacting with your own potentials, your own timeline, the people that you should be influencing. You're not going to see as much if you're only clicking love on every single post. If you have them start as see first, then Facebook obviously favors them. What else happens, you guys, is you start the comparison trap, and we all fall into it. And I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I'm just going to speak on it one more time, because recently I fell into the comparison game too. And it is so easy. It is so easy to look left and right and think that because somebody else is having a really amazing month where they have 100 PPA, or, they ranked up from 40K to 200K in a month. You're like, holy shit, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Like, what do they have that I don't have? And it is such a slippery slope. And you guys, the answer is they don't have anything that you don't have. You have it. People have different timing. They have different networks. They have, hey, we were moved. Oh, thanks. Okay, never mind. Sorry. They were going to cut me off there, but they didn't. Oh, okay. But you guys, like, comparing yourself to people, like, leaves you feeling bitter and jealous. It leaves you feeling less than. It leaves you feeling, ouch, sorry, I have a foot cramp. God. But it is so dangerous. It is a slippery slope. And so I just want to advise you to proceed with caution. If your timeline is filled with a whole bunch of top leaders, yes, it's great for inspiration. Yes, it's great to cheer them on. But if you're feeling yourself slip into this trap of being jealous of their success, or feeling like you are less than because you're not producing as much as they are, then click that unfollow button and go back to focusing on your people, your gifts, your strengths. It's like a whole mindset shift. And I think that like as we progress in this business, the comparison game, I think eventually like you do learn to get better at it, to celebrate their wins. I've always felt like, and this is a side note again, but I've always felt like when you see someone who's very close to you, who's getting blessed, who's being rewarded, who's getting hitting their goals and being successful, that yours is right around the corner. Like I always feel like things like that happen in a line, and like when your networker is winning, like you're going to win too. But if you're sitting there and sulking and thinking that you can't do it, or thinking that you've not gone as fast as them, your blessing's not going to come. I've just always felt like if you're sitting there not ready to receive it, when other people right next to you are receiving it, then it's just going to skip right over you. Not to sound, again, this is not tough love, it is, but everything I swear I said with pure, everything is pure. You just have to learn to celebrate everybody's wins and know that yours are coming. One other thing, not one other, that was a lie. I want to talk about what makes you guys excited about this opportunity and this company in particular. Because I feel like when people are like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to say, like I've hit a wall, then the first question I'm going to ask you, other than what are you reading and what do your IPAs look like, which are, for those of us who are new, income producing activity. Scrolling on Facebook is not income producing activity. Wish it was, because it's super easy, super easy to just drown in there, but it's not. Is what makes you excited. And what makes me excited about this business might not be the same thing about like what makes you excited about it. And so for me, what makes me excited about this business is that we are in massive momentum. It's still a brand new company who's already hit $1 billion. We have a one-of-a-kind product that we can all attest to, that nobody else has anything like it, and the fact that we get to run our businesses for free. That excites the hell out of me, because those are things that I didn't have in my last opportunity that always kind of held me back when I was sharing that opportunity with the potential. It was like, for a while, I believed that was the best in the world. And then after some time, I didn't have faith in it anymore. And so I have 100% faith in what we have our hands on right here, right now, because our product is so bomb. And from the results that we get from our customers, the customers messaging you saying how good they feel, saying that they got laundry done today. I had a girl message me last night who said, hey girl, what did she say? She was like, I don't know if I noticed a big change in energy, but I did notice that I washed and dried and folded and hung up 2 full loads of laundry. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. And I was like, girl, that's your win. Thrive is going to do something different for everybody. Like, we all have our own nutritional gaps. But if you are telling me that you have never once, which neither have I, same girl, folded or washed and folded and dried and hung up all your laundry, but you did 2 loads that day, that's a win. Right? And so I'm off on tangent again, but you guys, like, if what I'm excited about Lavelle doesn't make you excited, don't post about that. If you don't think it's absolutely incredible that we get to run our business for free, maybe you don't, like maybe you've done that before, then don't post about that. But there's a reason why you came here, other than the product is bomb. There's a reason why you're like, okay, I like this product enough to not just become a customer, I'm also going to jump in this opportunity. What's the reason? Just start sharing that. We're all probably going to have different reasons. Some are going to overlap. But if you're not fired up about what I'm fired up about, don't feel like if you see my post or Best post or Allie's post or anybody, and there's something that you're like, that you think this is now a bad opportunity, or that you think this is like not as good as it should be. There's a reason why you're here. There's something that gets you excited. Talk about that. People are attracted to people who, 1, know where they're going, and 2, are excited about something. So pick your favorite thing about Lavelle outside of our bomb product line and run with that. Because there's going to be people who are looking for exactly what you're talking about, who are going to say, oh, wow, holy crap, customers aren't locked into auto ships there. They don't have a $20 one-time joining fee. Like, they don't have a membership fee. Oh, I'm in. Or there's going to be people who say, oh my God, like, you can earn $800 in the first 2 weeks. That was another reason for me. Not just because I knew I was going to run out and grab those bonuses, because I knew that somebody who came to this opportunity brand new or from another opportunity would see that and think, 1, that's attainable. 2, I'm going to get it. $800 in your first 2 weeks, you guys, in bonuses is unheard of, and paid in full also unheard of. But again, if that doesn't excite you, don't talk about it. Talk about whatever excites you the most and run with it. And maybe it's something that's like, what?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Posted for 3 months. or 4 months or whatever doesn't mean that you can't stop. Because if you stop, then the harvest will stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing. I live right next to a field, and the farmer yet has come. Everybody else I see taking down beans, right? So the field's with beans. It was with corn last year. So he planted that in June, right? In June, or maybe in May, in whatever, knowing that in October and November the beans would be ready. But he's going to get to this field last because he's doing other fields because he planted those first. There's a process for every single thing. And if he stopped doing what he was doing, he wouldn't be able to reap the seed that's grown in here.
Right. And guys, the harvest still comes. But guess what?
All the
Somebody else
time.
is going to grab your harvest.
All the time. I can tell you over and over and over again, and I don't know everybody on here, but if this is the first thing that you've ever done, or if it's the second thing that you've ever done as far as MLMs or network marketing, you have to keep going, because I promise you, I can guarantee you, and I don't say that a lot, but I can guarantee you that someone's going to come to you and go, I've watched you long enough. Tell me about it. Like almost quote unquote. And me saying that right now, you're going to go back and go, oh, that's sad. Like, this is my guarantee because I lived that life. I didn't think it was happen because my last gig was my first gig, but I heard people say it. And then when it happened to me, I almost peed my pants because I was like, they said that was going to happen. Oh my God, it's like deja vu, right? Like I dreamt. No, they said it. And so now I'm just that person that's saying it to you because it's really going to happen. But it's not going to happen if you stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to go back. If you haven't posted for a while, you got to know people are coming to your timeline. People are unblocking you. They're going and seeing what's continuing to happen to see if you're still doing or not, because they still want you to fail. They want you to come back. They want you to go, oh, it didn't work for you, right? Well, don't let that happen. Up your patch. I change my patch every 3 days, sometimes every day, so that I don't feel the same, so my body doesn't get in the same rhythm, so that I'm not doing the same thing. And the one simple thing that you can say over and over again is, I don't have to take anything all day long. Whether you get all your 3 steps done in the first 20 minutes or not, sometimes it's longer than 20 minutes for me because I'm a mom and it tends to go a little crazy. So post that. Post about it, but go back to your timeline and say, when was the last time I posted? And if I'm going to contact Kelly and say, I'm struggling, that should be the first thing that I looked at.
Guys, the harvest always comes, always. Again, like that's a law. Like there is no debating that. Don't question it. The harvest is always going to come. So my heart breaks with people who came in May, June, July and just busted their asses and planted all these seeds on fire. And then all of a sudden they had one bad month. Right, we're talking about the thorns now. They had one bad month where, let's say they were used to signing 4 promoters and 4 customers every single month or higher, and they had 1 month that was slower, or maybe the 1 month was 0, and all of a sudden they're like, bye. And I'm just like, girl, like your harvest is here. It's here right now. There are people who are ready to join and who are looking for someone to join. If you would just still be here, like you'd be reaping everything, but instead they're going to go to somebody else who is consistent on their timeline, who knows where they're going, who's excited about this. And so like oftentimes the people that we're bringing in right now are not the people you just met last week or yesterday or even last month. These are people who have been watching for a long time, who their seeds have been planted and they've been growing. All of a sudden it's harvest season. And so, things like the VIP reset 2 weeks ago, I straight cried in Cabo, basically. Well, I was a little bit drunk too, but when he announced it, because it was like, holy crap. Like for anyone who didn't hit them, or anyone who was just so close and just barely missed them, or anyone who didn't go for it in the first place because they didn't think it'd it, it's like all of a sudden, like it's reset. It's a clean playing field. Now, like you get to reap everything you've been sowing. You get to go into it. But the thing is, if you hadn't been planting seeds all along, it wasn't harvest season for you. You plural, like in general, like everybody in the Vale, like if you hadn't been sowing for an entire season, then even when cool promotions and cool bonuses, and guys, there's not going to be ever a shortage of amazing things that Paul and Jason are going to do for us. Like I'm telling you right now, I stalked this company like my life depended on it last year through November, December, January, February. There's going to be no shortages of insane bonuses, of insane promotions, of insane deals for customers, of ways for you to earn Thrive credits, earn extra commissions. Like I'm telling you, Christmas cash, like it's all coming. I don't know where I'm going with this right now, but I'm going to keep on talking because there was a point. All I'm saying is like there's not going to be a shortage of that, but if you're not planning right now, it's not going to be harvest season when you want it so desperately to be harvest season. And so the trick, the key is you have to be that ambitious sower with the already good seed. You don't have to do anything about the seed. You guys already have the good seed. The good seed was given to us. We have to go out even really like searching for it. Like it's been handed to you. You have it in your hands. You just have to keep planning it. Okay? One thing I definitely want to touch on, I keep saying one thing. I'm sorry. I'm almost done. I promise. I know it's 9:40. I want to make it very clear that I did not come to this company because I thought it would be an easier route. I did not come here because it'd be easy. There is nothing about network marketing that is easy, and there is nothing about starting over that is easy. So I think sometimes, people, you come in with the fire, and all of a sudden 2-3 months later you're like, I don't really know if this is working for me anymore. I don't really know if I'm still excited. It just got really hard. Like people started saying no. Some of your customers didn't reorder. Maybe you missed a bonus you're going for. There's a lot of reasons I think why people slow down. But this was never supposed to be easy. You did not come here because this was easy. We can do hard things, you guys. It's going to be tough. This is not rainbows and unicorns here. Like I'm not going to tell you, like I was told before, that everyone gets to the top, and if you just work long, and like, no, like it's going to be really hard. Really hard. There's going to be days and months where you might even hate this. Days where you're like so frustrated that you're just like throwing your phone, not going to post today, not going to be in the group chat, not going to get on that weekly team training. Like I'm not feeling it. Like there's going to be times like that. But I came here, and I think you all came here too, because it was a better opportunity, not only for you, but for your people. You did not come here because it was supposed to be easy. So if right now I feel like this is hard, normal. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not in the wrong opportunity. It's supposed to be hard, you guys. Like, I know this is so cliche, but like, if it was easy, literally easy, everybody would do it. Everybody. If this was something that was just you were going to luck into, going to be handed to you, that customers were just going to flock to you and people are just going to flock to you, everybody would do it because we'd all be rich. It'd all be like happy-go-lucky, rainbows and butterflies. Guys, it's not like that. It's going to be hard. There's going to be months where you're soaring and your progression looks like this, and you're going to have a month that literally goes like this. It happens to all of us. It happens to me. It's happened to me so many times in 4 years. I can't even count how many times that's done that. So many times. And sometimes my down months, literally, like I'd have a path like this and be like, like down, down, down to a point where I'm like, well, damn, am I ever going to have a good month again? Like, am I even good at this? Like, do people even like me? Like, there's going to be months like that, you guys. Like, that happens for everybody in every single business, outside network marketing, everybody. It's not always going to be an upward trajectory. And I heard something today while I was working out, which again is rare, but I'm trying to turn a new leaf, you guys. We have Thrive Fit coming out. And I know, I was not on the call, but I know that when Jason and Paul launch a new product line that they've been hyping for months with our quality of ingredients, it's going to be bomb. And I want to be able to experience a pre-workout. I want to be able to experience a true recovery shake. Okay, that's a side note again. But I heard something from a trainer, and he said, in the beginning, it's easy for everybody, right? Like, of course, like in the beginning of your workout, but let's compare that to life. It's easy. When you're starting something new, relatively easy, right? You're pumped up, you're fired, you're kind of fearless, you're kind of like, well, I can do this. Like, this is my new thing. It's my new gig. I'm super pumped about it. Like, I'm just gonna make that happen. And then, of course, as always, this is another law, the hard part comes. And it's during those hard parts, during where you work through that struggle, that you gain your strength. And that's where all of your results come from. So let's talk about building muscle. Like if you're working out and your workout is too easy, if you've got 1 pound weights and you're just going boop, 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 you're just like pumping them. I mean, like, yeah, you're probably burning some calories, but you're not going to get good results. That's not where your results come from. Your results come from the hard things, where you're grinding through a workout, where you're grinding through a rough season in the business, where you're still tunnel vision, keep on trucking through the hard parts, and all of a sudden it's result season and you're like, damn, I look good, or damn, I did good. Like, damn, the team's on fire. But that doesn't happen during the easy parts, you guys. It happened, like, your mind doesn't grow. You don't grow until you've been through the rough parts where you're like, okay, like, I got to figure this out. I came here for a reason. I'm every bit as capable as the person next to me of learning and growing and expanding and building my influence. I got to grind it out during this tough season when it sucks. Trust me, there's days where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, not do this in general, but like, I don't do this today. I don't want to do this right now. Like, I'm busy. Like, I've got my kids. Like, I don't want to do this. And it's okay. You're allowed to have those days, and you're allowed to do that for a couple times. And I'm telling you, if you do that for too many days, too many weeks in a row, all of a sudden, this once golden opportunity, this once golden seed that you're so excited about just kind of seems okay. And let me tell you, the opportunity and the product didn't change. It's the exact same. As a matter of fact, it's getting better as we head into what's going to be insane boom season. If you guys could just truck through it, insane boom. I'm telling you, harvest season is coming, and it is going to blow our minds. But struggle season might have been happening for you right now. It might have happened for you in the beginning. You have to get through that struggle. You cannot avoid the struggle. I cannot hit this hard enough. Everybody struggles. Courtney Glazer, M. Hastings, Lindsay Reed, they all hit struggles too. Katie Pineda struggles. They might not broadcast it, but you're not allowed to avoid the struggle. It's part of life. It's part of business. You have to struggle. You did not come here to not struggle, okay? So you did not come here for an easy route. You did not come here to not struggle. You're going to have it hard sometimes. And you're going to struggle here, even here. And what I think is the best opportunity, and again, like I've said this before, there's a million good opportunities out there, you guys. Our timelines, I'm sure you guys know this, there's no shortage of opportunities. There's never going to be, from the rest of your life, this is our future. There's not going to be a shortage of good network marketing companies, and there's always going to be new ones in the making. Always. Mark my words, always. But people want you, and you have to stay consistent, and this is an amazing opportunity. I don't care what anybody says. Other leaders who look at this company and this product and actually dive into it, what we have our hands on right here is gold. But I'm not going to tell you right now, like, this is the best. Because what's the best for me might not be the best for somebody who's a makeup artist who's got a big following on the Instagram of 15,000 people for doing cool makeups. Those people need to stay in makeup, right? But if you're excited about this line, if you feel good on this line, if you know that your network and people need this line, then this is an amazing opportunity. Last thing, I believe, and I'm going to let Allie pop in. I need you to talk about something, Allie, is we have like weekly trainings here, and it's not this one. And guys, I want feedback on this. I'm hesitant to add in more Zooms just for us because this is me personally. When I have a lot on my calendar and I feel like I need to be on a Zoom on Sunday and on Monday and on Wednesday and do a training on Thursday or an opportunity event, I'm like scatterbrained. I'm like, I can't make it to everything. I have to pick one. And then I feel guilty for picking one over the other. But if you guys feel like you need more of just us time, I'm always willing to do more. I just know that like the reason why I've been hesitant to put more in is because Em and Lindsay and Katie have always said like what we have on our team page is gold. If you actually take the time to go through Hustle and Thrive Tribe and LV Crew on Dustin's page, gold. And every single week we all get together in that big group and we have the weekly Wednesday night training. And the Thursday night opportunity event, which is consistent. You guys, we can always count on that. I absolutely love that. If I have a potential who I know is interested in this business, but they're like kind of on the edge, then the best thing you can do is ask them if they want to just hop on a 20-minute Facebook Live or just share it to your Facebook page. If it's a Thursday night page and somebody's going live and it's two people that you like, maybe you don't like them, but maybe they do a good opportunity event, put it on your page because you're going to have those creepers who maybe they're not even going to watch it live. Have you guys noticed? Side note, I'm almost done. Side note that some people purposely won't watch it live because they know if they watch it live, their name pops up scrolling, right? And they don't want to do that. But what they're going to do is they're going to wait till that live event is over and then they're going to go back and they're going to creep so that nobody knows they watched that live. But I'm telling you, they're going to watch it. Okay, but what I'm trying to say here is that like there are endless opportunities for you to learn and grow. We have weekly trainings. We have weekly opportunity events. Guys, the University of Google, of YouTube, of Pinterest, most of my learning outside of podcasts comes from YouTube, comes from like Jim Rome, good old Jim Rome, good old Gary Vee, good old like Tony Robbins, who's an absolute lunatic, but I love him. Rachel Hollis. You have to be committed to growing your mind. And I think we've already touched on this, but I'm just going to say it one more time. don't rely on your enroller, on our top uplines to give you everything that you need. You have everything you need, but you have to take it upon it yourself if you want to actually make this a massive business, to put in the effort from your end. Sometimes it sucks when you come home from work, or for me, it's a long draining day with the kids where they've both just been like assholes. And I'm just like, God, it's 9 o'clock. I want to go to bed. I don't want to read. Like, I don't want to watch a video. I don't want to do this. But it's like the days where you can just like pummel through it and grow your mind. Like, that's when you grow. That's when you grow. And I've always noticed that the days where I'm most negative, most frustrated, most don't want to work, if I just spend a little bit of time getting excited about what I have my hands on and investing in myself, all of a sudden, just clicks again, fire is immediately relit. Natalie asked me to do a live with her last week, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I haven't done this in forever. Like, let's do it. I had no idea how much just going live with her and us just chatting about what we have our hands on for 20 minutes was going to do for my mindset. So some of you are like, God, like, I just don't know what to say. Like, I'm struggling. I'm at a wall. I don't know what to do. Just try talking about it. If you just, even if like not on live, like I don't even talk about Facebook Live, try talking about it to a family member, to just say it out loud. Sometimes I talk to myself and Cora's like, Mom, who are you talking to? I'm like, babe, don't worry about it. I'm talking. Like, I have to get these thoughts out of my mind. I have to say them. I have to speak them out. Sometimes just talking about this relights that fire. Okay, that is all I have to say. Allie, you said something earlier. I need you to say. Can you just touch on that?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just unmuted myself. Okay. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Allie. I've been in network marketing for about 3 years. And someone on my team, I was talking to her the other day, and she said something to the effect, and I'm not saying this verbatim, but like something to the effect of like, oh, you always know what to say. Like, you always have the right answer. You always know like what to do or what to say or how to say it, things like that. And it kind of dawned on me in that moment, like with my response to her was like, oh girl, I failed a million times. Like that's why I know like what to say. It's because I know 100 things not to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, she was like, seriously? Like, and like that caught me really off guard. I'm like, well, yeah, like how else do you like, learn? Like you learn by like trial and error. You learn by failing over and over and over again. And I think the biggest mistake that I see people that are new to the industry specifically, maybe not just this opportunity, but they are so paralyzed by fear of doing something wrong or fear of failing or fear of whatever, that they do nothing. And then they're like, well, why isn't this working? It's because they didn't do anything. And so that's the biggest mistake that I think people can make. And I think the way that you get around that is by action. Like, it doesn't actually matter what you post. Get out of your own head. It doesn't matter what you post. Just post something. And you're going to get better at it over time. Like, you're going to end up critiquing yourself and be like, man, that wasn't that great. But like, okay, the next time I'm going to say this instead. You guys know how many times I go back and edit a post after I post it? I'm like, ooh, that spacing's weird. Or, ooh, like, I go back and fix it, And I think that's one of the biggest things, is that you have to be willing to make mistakes, because that's when you grow. And if you're not willing to make mistakes and you're not willing to learn from your mistakes and force yourself to grow and force yourself outside your comfort zone, then this is going to be really, really hard for you. And this is coming from someone who's a perfectionist. Like, I'm a self-proclaimed perfectionist. And it's because I was an only child for 12 years and my parents were really hard on me. But I literally terrified of making a mistake. Even at work in my like day job, like the running joke is, Allie, it's okay to make mistakes. And so it's just so ironic to me that, this situation happened and that like I'm talking about this on live right now, that it's okay to make mistakes, because in a weird way, like I need to tell myself that every day. And so like I know somebody else needs to hear that too. And so like you just gotta like get out of your own head. Like at the end of the day, this isn't hard. You just have to do it. And like Kelly said, you have all the resources available to you, like YouTube, podcasts, like the team page. Like there are more videos than you can watch in a single day on that team page. So like if you haven't taken the time to watch them, then do so. But also don't let it be overwhelming. Like watch them when you can. Like Kelly said, when you're getting ready or when you're driving to work or things like that. But just don't do nothing, because that is where we all fall into the trap of the comparison game. Because while you're sitting there doing nothing, guess what you're watching other people do? You're watching them do stuff, right? You're watching them, post on Facebook, and like maybe you're sitting there and judging their post, being like, man, that wasn't a very good post. But you know what? It's better than yours because you didn't make a post. So at the end of the day, you just have to like get in like action mode, because like Kelly said, like if you are not planting, i.e. doing actions, i.e. income producing activities, they're all actions. And so the more actions that you do, whether they are good, bad, ugly, or embarrassing, like straight up you do a live and you're like, oh my God, I never want to do a live again. I think I might vomit right now. Should I delete it? Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I should delete it. No, I'm going to leave it up. Like, you know, like everybody goes through that. And so like, it's okay. Like just be committed like right now to 30 days of action. And like, I promise your business will be different. And I know, like Kelly said, like everybody is guilty of a bad week or hard week or, you know, hard day or whatever, like myself included. So like if it's been a second since you've posted, like commit to tomorrow I'm going to post. Maybe it's not 30 days for you yet. Maybe you're just going to post tomorrow. Like start somewhere, because the worst thing you can do is to not do anything. So
yeah. I love everything you just said. That was gold. And I think the moral of this Zoom is, well, there was a lot, I was scatterbrained, a lot of takeaways, but you guys, like, you're supposed to struggle. This is supposed to be hard. You're going to go through a season where you don't sign anybody, or maybe your team signs nobody. It's normal. Okay. As long as you're actually planting, then it's not on you. You can only control what you're doing. And so if you want to reap a bigger harvest come in the spring, do more right now. It might seem like a chore. It might seem like a lot. It might seem like you're doing, sometimes like harvest season is like farther down than what you thought it was going to be. Sometimes you've been planning, you've been doing all the right things. You've been planting your seeds. You've been watering them. You've been, sun's been shining. You've been like, it's perfect ground, but sometimes you're just not quite ready yet. But usually when that happens, I find that it looks like this. Your seed is like right here. You are right on the edge of that breakthrough. And it's like the next thing, the next post you make, the next thing that's announced from Lavelle, promotion, product, whatever it is, like whoop, that's where the seeds will just like sprout. So if you're having a rough time, it's okay. Give yourself some grace. We all have rough times. Okay. Are there any questions? I meant to open for Q&A. What do you guys want for like teams? Do you want to do like one a month, one every 2 weeks? I really don't want to do weekly because I feel like that gets too much for everybody. What do you guys want? What's your preference? In the perfect world, how do you see it connecting?
I think it was good that how you were just spur of the moment, like had to say stuff, because you were intense and that was good and it came out. Where for me, if it's weekly, you kind of sit there and then you're like,
what do we say? Right.
So say it like when you feel it and when you get it, that's when it's gonna come out.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay.
100%. But I also like our team stuff too, because sometimes I feel